Jaroslav Kahanek for the Czech Republic. Another of the young Czechs, only 17. Kahanek, 85.5. Good effort. And gets the telemark there. Good star marks, you can see, 4.19s. Almost everybody agreed. Now Jiri Palmer, the senior man on the Czech team. Palmer still jumping very well. Never really threatens the leaders, but usually does enough to qualify for a second round. 87 meters, well, I think that would probably give him a second jump. Palmer, 4 career wins in World Cup, but those all of 10 years ago now. So, in the lead at the moment, Jiri Palmer. Now Andy Widhözel, the hill record holder. Oh, nice transition, nice and smooth. Gets the telemark on the landing there, Widhözel. Only 19, still at the Stamm school, the specialist school for ski sport, 89.5. Now Widhözel. Very, very capable when he's right on top of his form. 115 points, he now takes over the lead. And the first appearance this season of Bruno Reuteler. Switzerland with a good squad of jumpers there. Reuteler, who produced a personal best in Lillehammer last year when he finished 6th on the big hill there. But slow to get going this season. 4 times in the top 10 last year. Just a little bit of movement there. That's where the 2 marks have gone for style. Deducted by all of the judges. 86.5 meters. Combine the distance and the style, and he's in 4th. Now Slovenia's Samo Gostiza. One of the more experienced Slovenians, but only 23 years of age. His personal best a little distant now. That was in Oberstdorf on the big hill there, the opening of the 4 hills back in 1991, where he finished 6th. Little movement in the air there, and the skis not quite level, but 87 meters puts him into 2nd place ahead of Palmer. Oh, Funaki of Japan suffered a bit. Oh, that's long. That's very long. That's over 90 meters. First man to do that. This 20-year-old who finished 4th in the World Cup rankings. 94 meters for Funaki, 2-footed on landing, so he loses points for style. And the jury, I think, are going to have a look at this. And there's number 12 on the bar, and the bar has been moved down. The bar has been moved down, I think, or is about to be. I thought they'd done it while we were watching the replay, but in fact, the jury concerned, because if Funaki... So Hans-Jörg Giekle to take his jump. The bar now down a rung to slow the in-run speed, and Giekle short of 70 meters. Two-footed on landing as well, so 16 and a half and 15 and a half. That's a very poor effort from Jekle. Tips coming up quite hard, leaving it just that little bit late. Jekle, 17th in the World Cup last season, but he's in no form at the moment. Into the snowy night goes Jakub Skoki of the Czech Republic. Young 17-year-old again. The Czechs with a very, very good crop of juniors. Skoki, who was second in Lahti last season, that's his personal best. And 77.5. Will it be good enough for a second effort? Looking a little quiet as down the in-run goes France's Didier Mollard. Didier was 26th in Planica on Sunday. Low 70s there. 73.5 meters. And the wind really difficult now. Now Martin Hulvaert, who finished one place higher than Mollard on Sunday on the big hill in Slovenia at Planica. Hulvaert trying to regain the form of 1992. And that's very short. Really not getting the cushion of air, not getting the distance. Hulvaert, who in 92 was the triple silver Olympic medalist, last season showed signs of return by being runner-up in the Continental Cup rankings. That's the competition through which a lot of people either learn their trade or try to regain their form. Fifth, only 62 points. That may be the end of his evening's work. Teammate Schwarzenberger, another 17-year-old. That's much better. Much more length there. Not over the critical point, but that's mid-80s for last season's Oberstdorf winner and the Junior World Silver medalist last season. Arms nicely by the side. Timing off the end of the in-run was good. The transition into flight and first. 85 meters, 104.5 points. Now, František Jež, still looking for his fifth win. His fourth one came 5 years ago. And Jež, not far away actually from Schwarzenberger's distance. They were pretty well together there. 84.5 for František. So it'll be about style, and the marks just that fraction better, and he takes the lead. Oh, now Fukita, Yukitaka Fukita, also in the points of Planica on Sunday. Just about 80. No Takanobu Okabe in the competition today. So Fukita getting his chance. 80.5 meters it is, but look at that, a lot of marks taken off for style. Dida Toma,
Partito.
And Toma still looking for his best form, although that's not unreasonable. It's not as long as Schwarzenberger at 85 meters, but it's not that far away. And third place, 17s. You see 16 and a half. The jury being quite precise about taking these deductions off for in-flight imperfections. Ingemar Maher from Kirchdorf in Austria. Kirchdorf, I should say.
Ricordiamo che al comando della classifica provvisoria Roland Schwarzenberger.
So Maher, low 70s, that might struggle to get a second jump. 72 meters it is.
Alla partenza con il numero 22 per gli Stati Uniti, Randy Weber.
Well, now Randy Weber from Steamboat Springs, the #1 American. Oh, and that's not bad. Not bad at all from Randy Weber. This man, the US champion on the 90-meter hill, and that's 85.5 meters. Good effort by this man who finished 22nd in the first jump of the season on the 90-meter hill in Lillehammer. His ambition this season to consolidate his position in the top 30. Look at that, 19s, they like the jump, and he takes the lead. Good news for North American jumping if he can continue to progress throughout the season. Now Ito for Japan. Two-footed on landing, so again you can instantly take off 2.5 points for that. No telemark, and he's less than 80 meters. He's short of that line by what must be 2 or 3 meters. 77 meters for Ito.
77 meters.
And
Alla partenza numero 24,
you see 16s there, in fact 15 and a half from one of the Italian judges. That'll be discarded along with one of the 16s. And they're really flying down the in-run now. Christoph Dufner. Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. He's surely not going to get a second jump. That's hardly over the 60-meter line. Got points in Planica on Sunday for finishing 18th, but this is not the follow-up he would have wished. Well, still the big names to come, all of the flying Finns, plus Andy Goldberger, and of course Harada of Japan. Switzerland, Sylvan Freiholz. Just a little correction there, but he's mid-80s, in fact a little bit longer than that for this 21-year-old Swiss. He scored some points in Villach on the 90-meter hill when he finished in 10th place. Still to win a World Cup ski jump, he has been second. That was on his own home hill at Engelberg. And 87.5, I think that's going to give him the lead. It does indeed. Freiholz for the moment in the lead with 87.5 kilos as Espen Bredesen lands. And by contrast, that's a pretty disappointing jump for Bredesen. He can't really be much over 70 meters. Just looking at what you can see what the wind is doing to these jumpers. It's pushing them. And 71 meters it is. Fair on the style, but the distance desperately short. Adam Malias for Poland. 12th on the 90-meter hill at Lillehammer and 22nd at Villach. That's where his points have come from this season so far. And he's short. 10th in last season's Junior World Championships, this 18-year-old, who certainly showed some promise already this season.
69,5 meter.
But in these conditions, experience counts for an awful lot. Two-footed on landing, as you saw there, so the telemark not achieved. They can take off up to 4 points for the whole landing sequence, each of the judges. Now Ciccone, Italy's #1 on Italy's hill. Oh, and that's again short. Ciccone crawls over 70 meters. The runner-up in last year's World Cup, still really struggling to find the sort of form that helped him to 3 victories. And 72 meters for Ciccone. Will he make the cut? I just wonder. 16th at the moment. Remember, there are a total of 52 on the start list today. Jaroslav Sakala. And if anything, that's a bit shorter than Ciccone.
Metri 70.
70 meters.
15th for Sakala, on the comeback trail as well after 2 seasons of niggling injuries. Now Gebstedt of Germany. That's a bit more respectable. Over 80 meters. And fair style, he'll lose a point. Perhaps a point and a half, I would have thought. The telemark's okay at the end. And 84.5 meters. Gebstedt actually looking in quite good form. This man who won just one World Cup event. That was a ski flying competition back in 1991 in Planitza. Now, Naoki Yasuzaki for Japan. Another low 70s man. And not so strong on the style here, I would have thought.
Metri 73.
They'll probably take off at least 2 points and maybe a bit more. Well, just about that. 73 meters though, short on distance. 14th at the moment. He's going to be in the danger zone. The cut of 35 that will be asked to climb the hill again. Norway and Sturli Holseter in flight here. Oh, handle that well. Over 80 meters. Holseter, this man who opened his account on home snow in Lillehammer with a 6th place on the normal hill. And that is 84 meters for Sturli Holseter. And not bad style here. I would have thought this would have given him 18.5 to 19, and there they are. 6th place, so sure to get a second jump, I think. Jani Soininen for Finland. Well, nice jump. Only 20, Jani, but that's just about as long as we've seen. 87, in fact, it's half a meter shorter than Freiholtz's 87.5. But it puts him in the order. But you can see style again. That's where he's lost his points. Andy Kudel for Switzerland. This man who's scored points in all 4 of this season's individual competitions. And that's mid-70s for Kudel. Opened with a pair of 23rd place finishes in Norway, and then 13th and 6th, so getting better all the time. Although this puts him down to 15th place. It's the distance that's doing the damage. Look at the style. That's a mixture, but loses the 19, loses the 17.5, the others added together. Now Weissflog, no lacking in experience here for this German champion. Well, Weissflog short of 80 meters. Yet to hit top form. But the wind being very wicked for some of these jumpers. And you don't often see Weissflog with style marks like that, but I don't think he could do anything else in the conditions. This is Saito from Sapporo, world silver medalist. 9th in the last 2 individual jumps, so good performances. Saito beginning to show signs of challenging the best. Nice and quiet there from him. But still 10 meters and more short of the 90-meter calculation point. See, low in-run speed, 82.2. And Saito with 77 meters. Some work to do in the second jump to catch up. His chances depending on those who follow, really. Now France, Nicolas Jean-Pro, neither teammates Desum or Chevalier have qualified for today's top 50. And that's just about the same, I would say, as Saito. A kilometre faster on the in-run, but the results pretty similar for Jean-Pro. 77 it is, and he goes into 14th place. Started really well, equaling his personal best in Lillehammer on the first 90-meter hill of the season when he was 5th. But since then, it's been dropping down the order. Short. Suda may struggle to make the cut. And looking for the landing as well. Telemark really not achieved, so 17s, well, 17.5, the highest mark there. 68 meters, 26th. And remember, with 52 to jump, Suda might not make it. Now here's Halvorsen. Halvorsen very, very short and 2-footed on landing there. And he's going to be right at the bottom, I would have thought. It's a long way short of 70 meters. And the style is only average. 31st, 4 men who jump further will push him out. 23 top 10 finishes so far this season. That was nice and smooth, and that's long. That's definitely the longest jump. Remember, Freiholz had 87.5 and Soininen 87, and that's a meter or two. It might even be, it is 90 meters. 90 meters on the calculation point, 60 meters for jumping, and Ottesen in the lead, and the style should be good, 19s and 18s. Arms out from the side is his own characteristic. A little bit of movement on the ski. 19, one of them from France. The rest all 18s. 114 points. Lasse Ottesen leads. Now Marco Steinauer for Switzerland. Well, that's nowhere near as long. Mid-80s, 84.5 meters for Steinauer. Again, like Ottesen, he's been in the points all season. 4th in Planica. Last Sunday, that's his best of the season.
Am Start Nummer 46, Linie
So that
aus Japan.
will keep him, I was going to say, in the top 10. He's 6th at the moment. Nishikata landing, looking for the telemark. 85 meters for Nishikata. Missed out in Planica, but he had a very good second event in Lillehammer when he finished 2nd, equaling his personal best. And 85 meters, and fair start there. You can see 4 marks over 19.
Aus Norwegen.
Now, Roy Jokosoi, the runner-up in Planica on Sunday, to Mika Leitinen. Oh, well, that's short. Well, I hate to suggest this is a bit of a lottery, but the conditions are changing all the time. Predazzo's well known for its wind that turns around the hill. And as exciting as night ski jumping is a spectacular or a spectator festival, it would be a lot better if the conditions were a little bit more equal at the moment. 78 meters for Jokosoi. Down the in-run comes Andy Goldberger for Austria. Better. Good landing. Telemark, no problem. Pleased with that. 89 meters for Andy Goldberger. That's going to put him in the top 3 or 4, I would have thought. Could all be on style. Should be 19s across the board. In fact, puts him, I think, yes it does, ahead of Ottesen. Ottesen went a meter further, but Goldberger's style is better, I'm sure of that. What are they going to give him? 19 from one French judge. Remember, you take away, and in fact, Goldberger goes into the lead ahead of Ottesen by 1 point. Harada now of Japan. That's a desperately short jump for him. Under 80 meters. This man who won the Villach 90-meter hill competition. That was his first ever victory, Harada. 77.5 for Harada. So that's going to push him right down the order. Ari-Pekka Nicola.
E intanto Andreas Goldberger si è inserito al primo posto della classifica provvisoria.
Over 90, yes, 91.5 meters. Difficult to tell now. The lines being covered by the snow, the horizontal lines across the hill that give us our guide, but 91.5 meters. And Nicola goes ahead of Goldberger. 119.5, Goldberger's got 115, so pretty close now. Jani Ahonen. That was nicely tuned there, and that's about 90 meters as well. Ahonen in sparkling form, 4th, 1st, 4th and 3rd. Those are the finishing positions he's achieved in the 4 previous jumps. And 90 meters it is, right on the line here for Jani Ahonen. So it's about style between him and Nicola. But Nicola getting the bonus points, Ahonen into 2nd place. But just a 1.5 points between the two Finns. Now here's the World Cup leader, Mika Leitinen. And that's long, that's very long indeed. The hill record's 96. I don't think it's as far as that, but it's not that far away. Good in-run speed then, 83.5 kilometers. And Leitinen really is in sparkling form. Twice a winner already this season. And 95 meters, 125 points. Style is where he loses. One of the Italians, I think that's a little hard, 17. Now these are the men who have to jump again because the round, if you remember, was stopped after Funaki jumped 94 meters. So Gert Schalert, who had 85.5 the first time, that doesn't count, and he's now got less than 80. Always tough when that happens, but those are the rules of the competition. 22nd. There's 11 to jump, so he's not yet 100% certain of qualifying. Krumpholz of the Czech Republic, low 70s. That's not going to be good enough, which is a pity for the 17-year-old Czech. 71 meters, and he's going to be outside the top 35. There he is, 36th at the moment. Oh, now Dejan Jekovic. Over 80 the first time. No, and that's short as well. Only a meter or so further than Krumpholz, who just preceded him. Now Krumpholz was just outside. Jekovic might be just inside the top 35. We'll wait for the last mark, 30 seconds. So he's going to have to wait and see how the others do. Still 8 of them to go. Mateja now for Poland. The Zakopane-based ski jumper. Oof, and that was two-footed, really hard. So the style marks will come tumbling off, although he's got about 80 meters, something of that order. 80.5 meters. But look at those style marks, 45th. Over 25% of the style marks deducted, and out he goes. Partile of Italy. Well, he didn't have a qualifying distance the first time, and he's short again. 70-ish. Pity for this man, 24 years of age, from Predazzo. Remembers the World Championships which the Italians hosted here in 1991, the Nordic World Championships. And 33rd, he's on the edge. Jaroslav Kahanek, the junior world silver medalist with the Czech team 2 seasons ago. And that's not going to be long enough or good enough to qualify. Not 70 meters, and he's outside the top 35. Frustrating, he jumped 85.5 meters when they were at the higher gate with the greater in-run speed and arguably the slightly better or more consistent weather conditions. But 43rd now, Kahanek can put the skis back on the trailer. Well, from the youth of Kahanek at 17 to the 31 years of experience of Jiri Palmer. Well, that's over 80 meters. Borderline again for all these men. Not too bad in terms of style. Gets the telemark, as you can see. But 72 meters there for Palmer. He's going to have to wait and see whether that's quite good enough. The hill record holder, Andy Vidhersel. Well, that's well over 80, but well short of 90. Herzl, though, should make it. And 17th with 81 meters. And everybody united on 18.5 for style. Bruno Reuteler, short. Don't think that's going to be good enough for the Swiss. Looking for the landing now. Well, he's got to lose, as he does, 2.5 or 3 points from the German judge, puts him down in 40th place, no second jump. 2 more to jump or re-jump. Samo Gostiza, the Slovenian, who's just about the most experienced of the squad. Oh, and that's a heavy tumble. But no harm done. But unfortunately, he was, as you can see, 76 meters, might have just crept into the top 35, but you automatically lose 50% of your points. Just leans in on the ski. And his chance is going to go because of that fall. In fact, the ski's just knocked together there and he just lost his balance. Now Funaki, who caused the jury to rethink the gate. Well, it's well short of 80. Funaki, 74 meters. And is he going to make it? Just looking for the star points. It's in that area. If he makes it, yes he does. Funaki makes it with a total of 80.5 points, which just underlines how unlucky Gostiza was, because had he stood up having jumped 76, then he might well have pushed it out, the last man to qualify, and that's Jiri Palmer. But at the end of the first round, Mika Leitinen, twice a winner this season, heads the table. As you can see, 5.5 points over Nicola. Going in reverse order. And on the gate, waiting to jump now, Didier Mollard. Mollard, 33rd after the first round, so really would have to produce an enormous leap now to put himself back into contention. Over 80 meters. .84.5 meters for Mollard, who at 26 is one of the senior members of the French squad. Didn't have a fantastic season last year, was 28th in the ratings, and just got a few points on Sunday in Planica when he finished 26th. So Mollard, one of many who has yet to hit top form. Now here's Yasuzaki. Well, he gets the telemark all right, but I'm afraid he doesn't get the distance. That's well short. Less than 70 meters. In fact, 86 meters. I'm sorry, I do apologize to him. It's difficult to see, but Yasuzaki getting 188.5 points to take the lead. Now Funaki, Yasuzaki's teammate. Well, that's definitely not as long as Yasuzaki. short of 80 meters.
78 meter. 78 meters.
Ancora un concorrente giapponese con il pettorale numero 23, si tratta di Naoto Ito.
So 78 meters, a little bit longer, but Funaki fourth at the moment, but he's not going to hold on to that. Now Ito of Japan. Ito, who jumped 77 meters the first time. Just waiting for Ono, the head coach, to release him. And that's a good effort by Ito. Pity he didn't do that in the first round. That's over 90 meters, 91 meters, so 2 extra points for distance, giving him 62 in all.
91 meters.
So 91 meters for Ito. So it's all down to style at the moment. And that looked pretty fair. 18s and 19s, I would have thought. And is it enough to give him the lead over Yasuzaki? Certainly is. So Ito leads for the moment. As in the air, Kutel of Switzerland. Mid-80s. Andy Kutel making progress quite quickly for his coaches, Sepp Zahender and Joachim Winterlicht. And second, good star marks there from him. And he doesn't look too displeased with his evening's work. Now Weissflog, who finds himself in a lowly 28th place. Well, that's just about the same as Kutel. Weissflog, with all the victories he's had, when you look through the record books, you can find or see that he's actually only ever won the World Cup once. That was back in 1984, and in recent times his runners-up position in 1994, 2 seasons ago, is the nearest he's got since that time. But he's amassed 30 wins. 86 meters helps him into second place at the moment. Ito still leads for Japan. Now here's his teammate Hiroya Saito. Well, Saito, yet another man around the mid-80 mark. '15th, 8th, 9th and 9th. Those are the positions he's finished in the first 4 individual jumps of the season.
Alla partenza con il pettorale numero 14, Jakub Sukacek, Repubblica Ceca.
So Saito, 85.5 meters. Remember, Ito was in the lead and still is. Saito, 193.5. Ito's got 198.5. Now, Sukacek for the Czech Republic. That is not going to advance him one bit. In fact, it's opened the door for quite a few to overtake him. Not even 70 meters. And the style can't be worth much more than 15 or 16. Really doesn't get the body extended, and the 2-footed landing loses the telemark. Arguably, those points maybe half a point or so on the generous side. Now Jean Pro for France, 77 meters. Can he pick this up now? Started the season so well, this Frenchman. Good transition Oh, just got buffeted there, but that's long. That is long. That's over 90 meters, and that really does make up deficit. 77, but that's been bettered by a long, long way. Little applause, and rightly so, for Nicolas Jean-Pro. 94.5 meters for the Frenchman, and that's going to move him up the order, and he's going to overtake Ito. 217 points, and Jean-Pro up the table. Gerd Zygmunt only 23rd with 78 meters. That's a meter longer than Jean-Pro in the first jump. But Zygmunt not particularly consistent this season, not yet at least. From Oberhof in the eastern part of Germany, and we'll be going there for the penultimate World Cup ski jump before the beginning of the Four Hills tournaments at Oberstdorf. And Zygmunt, I'm afraid, doesn't make up ground there. 83 meters for him, and Jean-Pro still comfortably in the lead. Zygmunt points in only 2 of this season's individual competitions. 6th at the moment. First man to jump today, Gerhard Schallert of Austria. Well, not as long as his first effort. Schallert had a good year last year in the Continental Cup when he finished 5th. But the World Cup keenly contested now. It's really hard to qualify. A lot of well-known names not competing didn't make it. And 10th at the moment for Schallert. Now Ruhr Jukelsoy, desperately disappointed with his 78 meters from the first jump. So he needs something fairly massive to bring him back to respectability, and he's not going to get it. So the runner-up from last Sunday, way down the table. Remember, of the 35 who are jumping in this second round, only the top 30 score points, so Jukelsoy there losing out badly.
Fukita per il Giappone.
12th at the moment, but he's almost certain to get pushed further down the table. 19. Japan, Yukitaka Fukita. So 80.5 meters the first time. Tried to punch that quite hard, 2-footed on landing, and short of 80 meters Fukita. So still Nicolas Jean-Pro of France in the lead, and Fukita, well, 75 meters and losing star marks there. 16s and 17s, you can see quite heavy on the landing. So France have the lead, but a long way still to go in this second and decisive round. Harada, a widow in Villach just a week ago. Good effort there, and that's over 90 meters, as you can see, 91.5 meters for Harada. But I don't think it's going to give him the advantage over Jean-Pro. In fact, it doesn't. Harada, fair style, but he has 210 points, and Jean Pro still leads with 217. Next man up will be Martin Schrunz of Switzerland. Here he is. Schrunz now 25 years of age, never better than 6th in the World Cup. And that's a low 80s, so his cause not advanced.
83 meters.
Schrunz, who gets ahead of Weissflog in the overall ranking, but still actually behind Ito of Japan.
Matthias Wallner aus Österreich.
So France, Japan, Japan, the order at the moment. Now Matthias Wallner. Wallner, only 81 meters the first time. That's a little bit better this time, but still short of 90, and all of these ski jumpers really need to be hitting 90 and more to get bonus points if they want to get anywhere near the top 10. Wallner, who also competed in the Continental Cup last season when he was 9th overall, goes 3rd. Fair style there, as you can see, 18.5 to 19. Next, the hill record holder, Andy Widhersel. Well, his first jump of 81 meters was a long way short of his 1992 record of 96 meters, and Widhersel again disappointing. Just about 70, not much more. And 70.5 it is, 15th at the moment.
70.5 meters.
Germany now, Dieter Thoma.
Am Start Nummer 20, Dieter Thoma aus Deutschland.
So what can he do on this second jump? 84 the first time. Thoma from Hinterzarten. Well, I don't think that's any longer at all. The Olympic bronze medalist on the 90-meter hill, and Thoma, who got a silver medal with the German team in the World Championships last year. But operations on the knee means that he's short of training, short of jumps on the snow. He's probably maybe as much as 200 jumps behind the leaders in the World Cup, Leitinen, Nicola, Harada and Goldberger. .36. This is Sturle Hallsetter. Exactly the same distance as Thoma had in the first round. And Hallsetter not as long as Thoma in the second. It's interesting going back to Dieter Thoma, who's now 26 years of age and seeking his 8th World Cup win this season. Could well be that Thoma's form will improve in the new year, perhaps at Innsbruck or Bischofshofen. Now here's a German who is in form, or you'll see him in a moment, Ralf Gebstedt. He's been jumping really well. And watch the move off the table here. Arms nicely by the side and gets the telemark without any problem whatsoever. But he's a little short of what he needs. Mid-80s, 85, in fact, half a meter longer than his first round effort.
85 meters.
It's going to haul him up into the top 10 for the moment, that's for sure. Gebstedt, who's consistently gathering points in. 20th, 30th, 16th and 15th, so little by little he's improving. Yesh of the Czech Republic. Well, another man to, in this second round, almost repeat the effort of the first round. Might be a bit longer, actually. It might be 85 meters. Again, very difficult to see. The horizontal line markers rather covered up from the snow that's fallen. And 84 meters. In fact, I've given him a meter too much. But the style's good, isn't it? 3:19s there, and that helps him into fourth place. Yesh, so far this season, he hasn't been in the top 15. Now Reinhard Schwarzenberger. Well, that's pretty well the same as Yesh, who preceded him. Schwarzenberger's only 17, comes from Savite, and really burst to notoriety last December when he won the Oberstdorf jump. And he was only 16 years of age then. But did get a silver medal behind Ingebrigtsen of Norway in the Junior World Championships last season. Ingebrigtsen, again, not qualifying for today's competition. Did compete at Planica and qualify, but yet to find consistent form, the Junior World and Senior World Champion. Now, this is Steinauer of Switzerland. Well, that's one of the better jumps in this second round. Again, it isn't 90 meters, but it's over 85. So this should move Steinauer up the order. 87 meters for Steinauer, who's finished 11th, 12th and 4th. Those his position statistics for this season's 4 jumps, and he's second at the moment. Steinauer moving up the table and is just behind Jean Pro. Jean Pro 217 points and Steinauer 216 and a half. Jean Pro's poor first jump that's allowed Steinauer to get so close. Frank Reichel of Germany, short of 80, and that's rather disappointing. Knocks him back just a little bit. Reichel from Oberwiesenthal in this, his first World Cup season, 16th now. Pity about that. But his coach, Dietrich Kampf, will no doubt review the video with him as they try to progress. Now 46. The bib worn by Jinya Nishikata. Nishikata with 85 meters. Well, needs at least that to keep himself in contention. And not as far.
Metri
80. Looking for Nishikata's mark, is it 83.5 meters? Yes, it is. 83.5 meters, goes third at the moment. But staying consistent, really, Nishikata. Jani Soininen. couple of meters further than Nishikata. At the moment, it's Jean-Pro from France who leads ahead of Steinauer of Switzerland. And Soininen goes in behind Steinauer into third place with that 85.5 meter leap, and all the judges agreed worth 18 out of 20 for style. So now Randy Weber for the United States, 85.5. If he could produce that again, that would be really excellent. It would certainly help him to a personal best. Good effort there. The body just not quite extended in the way, but he's got the meters. That must be 85 as well. Now, what's this going to do to his position? It is indeed 85 meters, right on that marker. And start, he got very good star marks, 19s and 19.5 the first time. This looks pretty good. Nice and steady in the flight there. And gets a nice 20s. Look at that. How often do you see 420s? Very rarely indeed. And he's the leader. The United States in the lead. Randy Weber from Steamboat Springs storms into the lead ahead of Jean-Pro, Steinauer and Soininen. Good effort by the 18-year-old American. Personal best at the moment. Where's he going to end up, I wonder? Now Freiholz of Switzerland, 87.5 the first time. And again, very similar jump to his first effort. Remember, Weber had 86.5 and 85. Freiholz had 87.5 and this is 87. So it's all about style at the moment. But those star marks of Weber's very high, and I don't know, look at that, he's second. Style, the difference between Freiholz and Weber. Weber prevails. Steinholz is second, ahead of Jean-Pro, and now Steinauer is off the podium into fourth place. Lasse Ottesen for Norway. 5 to jump. That was nice. And the Norwegian gets 90 meters. Ottesen. 90 meters the first time. No, he probably doesn't actually. 85.5. His distance. Now, is that going to be good enough to give him the lead? I think it is. Ottesen, fair style. But the 91 meters from the 90 meters, I should say, from the first jump, helping him to stay ahead. But Randy Weber really deserves the congratulations. Having the best jump of his life at the moment. Andy Goldberger now for Austria. Really fights his way through the flight there. Good deep telemark. Gets the distance. Now, he really is around 90 meters. Goldberger. Well, Weber got 20s. What's Goldberger going to get? Because there was precious little wrong with this. Distance for Goldberger is 91 meters. Launches himself off. Very, very smooth, the transition. And the telemark is excellent. 19.5. Unanimity, and Austria take the lead. That'll cheer up not only Andy Goldberger, but it'll also cheer up Andy Felder, his coach. Jani Ahonen, 3 Finns to come. Not for the first time have they been in this position this season, and Ahonen snatches a jump which can't be far short of 90. But not as stylish as Goldberg. A little bit of movement. The ski's not quite so level. And the telemark not quite as good. 89.5 and he's second. Still very respectable efforts by Ahonen, but Goldberger, to me, the better jump by some way. Now Nicola the World Cup champion 5 years ago, in very good early season form. Ari-Pekka, a model of consistency, really. And that's a good effort by Nicola. Over 90 meters, longer than Andy Goldberger. Good in-run speed and good conversion into flight there, and a nice landing. Now, let's just have a look at the landing. 93.5 the marks for distance. Telemarks the worry. Ooh, a little wobbly there, and maybe that's the reason for the deduction. 2.5 from the French judge seems a little hard. But Nicola, by virtue of distance, into the lead, with this man looking for a hat-trick of wins. Leitinen, the timing is so good. He's two-footed on landing, so his points are going to be low in terms of style, but the distance is long. Nicola congratulates, he knows, and we now know, 94 meters for Mika Leitinen with the 95 from the first round. That's going to be good enough to give him his third victory of the season. The style, though, leaving a little bit to be desired. Absolutely no telemark. Look at that, 3 marks taken off by 4 out of the 5 judges, but distance rules as ever these days. Well, Andy Goldberger notched up 10 wins last season for Austria and himself, and Mika Leitinen has got his third by 2 points ahead of teammate Nicola. Goldberger now on the podium. That's his first podium finish of the season. A personal best for Randy Monham, with Nicola in third place. Still a finish sweep. Harada 234 ahead of Goldberger, who's now 5th overall.